Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles. The Baltimore Ravens defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-22. It was a tale of two halves for the Ravens. The big story, first half, they came out throwing, didn't have a ton of success. Second half, they ran the ball, had a ton of success, and dominated the game. Now, I can see what they were doing in the first half. I mean, they had Mark Andrews, they had Rashad Bateman against a banged-up, young, inexperienced Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary. But Andrews got hurt, Bateman got hurt, the inexperienced secondary players played fairly well. So the Ravens came back and ran the ball, and they just ran away with the game. They dominated the Buccaneers. They had 233 total rushing yards. 204 of them were in the second half. So incredible. And this is not something the Ravens have been doing all year, which is egregious because their entire offense is designed to devote 1 billion resources to running the ball at the expense of the passing game. So why can't they run? But they were able to do it this time. And they've blown some leads, and they didn't blow this lead. It felt like old Ravens. You know, they cornered that Todd Bowles defense. And, I mean, as he stood there with zero expression on his face, the same expressionless mood that he had while he oversaw the Jets 5-11, 5-11, 4-12 records. Like, PR dude, Todd Bowles, show something to show just your fans that you care at all. I don't know. I mean, don't go full Bruce Arians. You don't have to throw a fit about everything. You know, maybe that's why Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles worked so well together. They won a Super Bowl in 2020. Sort of a yin and yang thing. But it wasn't just about the switch to the running game, man. The Ravens figured it out. The big play still came through Lamar Jackson's arm. You know, he pulled off the real game-winning plays were those touchdowns in the red zone. You know, touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely, who had a great game. Touchdown pass to Kenyon Drake. You know, when it got tough there, Lamar punched it in. And he's impressed me with that. He's really improved on that over his career. It's not just big bombs. He's making these red zone trips count with his arm. So I'm pretty excited about that. The Ravens go to 5-3. They got a mini bye here. They don't play until Monday Night Football Week 9. So they don't play till November 7th against the Saints. So they have this mini bye, and then they have an actual bye after that. So maybe the Ravens can make a run going into November and December. Who knows? The Buccaneers were in trouble. They are 0-3. Since I picked them to win the Super Bowl. And I remember I picked them to win the Super Bowl because life is not fair. And we're all just hopeless vessels waiting for a meaningless void. That was what I picked them for. Maybe there is hope. Maybe there is meaning. Maybe Tom Brady finally is going away. He's not had a 3-game losing streak since 2002, and here he is. That said, and listeners will certainly know this, I love NFL history, and I appreciate it. And I just know that there's not going to be any other Thursday nights where I'm just watching somebody throw their 633rd and 634th touchdown like we watched Brady do. Yes, it was Lamar Jackson's day. He's holding up a pay me now sign, but it's still cool to just be like, hey, that's history happening, and we're not going to get that again in our lifetime, probably. Brady went over 12,000 yards as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer today. I know the other thing, he became the most sacked quarterback of all time, but isn't that crazy? 12,000 yards as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer? I mean, he started playing for the Bucs when he was 43. I remember in 2020 I said that this Buccaneer thing with Brady would be like Johnny Unitas going to the Chargers. Well, I was wrong. Brady still looks okay. He looks okay. Not great, but okay. We're just watching. I mean, Godwin has lost a step. There's something wrong with him. Evans is playing well. He's always looked slow. And Julio looks so slow. I mean, he got that touchdown. I was actually surprised, that he really fought for the goal line there, because before that, he had looked so terrible and so avoiding of contact. But, the Bucs offense just continues to be bad. They fall to 3-5. Now the defense is bad too. It's just weird. Yet, as my brother pointed out in our text threads tonight, the NFC South is so bad. The Mariota Falcons, the PJ Walker Panthers, the Andy Dalton Saints, that Brady probably will still make a playoff. They'll probably still host a playoff game. So we'll see. I had one more note. So while Brady crossed over 10,000 yards, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer, I'm always watching the career leaderboards. Back to Lamar Jackson. He went over 4,200 rushing yards in his career today. And it's incredible. He's actually starting to pass up like full-time, full career running backs in rushing yards. He passed up Edgar Bennett, passed up Rashard Mendenhall. I forget who the other. Cadillac Williams. Like Lamar Jackson, who is a quarterback, by the way, is passing up those guys. How far will he go up those leaderboards? I don't know. We'll close out the Thursday Night Football with a quote from Al Michaels, a quote that I thought was great. After a Tom Brady slide and a Raven player kind of tried to avoid the penalty, jumped over him. A couple of players kind of made contact there, but really trying not to get the flag. Al Michaels said, "You don't want to jump on top of Tom Brady. That's like throwing an egg at the Mona Lisa." I love him. I love you, Al. Mukilteo Football Show. This show is football everything. NFL history, legacy, ups and downs of a season. Follow us at MUK_football, at MUK_football on Twitter or YouTube. Subscribe, share, review on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts. We have shows Thursday after Thursday Night Football, Sunday after Sunday Night Football, and Monday after Monday Night Football. And the Thursday show is all about previewing the upcoming week. So let's talk about 4 games from week 8. Let's pick the spread and let's see how we do. I'm now 17-11 on the year, my picks against the spread. And as I said, my only goal is just to be above 500. Last week, week 7 was my first losing record. I was 1-3. So begins the slide. All right, let's start off with our first game. The New York Jets host the New England Patriots. This is the first meaningful, or at least uncertain of the result, Patriots-Jets game in years. The Patriots, well, first of all, they've won the last 12. The Patriots have won the last 12 games against the Jets. Most of them blowouts. The last one was a blowout. Actually, so a lot of that was Brady, yeah, but last year, the Mac Jones Patriots beat the Jets twice by a combined score of 79-19. But now, the Jets are the hot stuff. And we're thinking maybe they can deliver their first, connecting punch against the Patriots since 2010 season when the Jets knocked the Patriots out of the playoffs. It really has been that long, because the whole decade was just the Patriots beating up on the Jets, and even without Brady, they're 4-0 against the Jets. But, the Jets, I say the Jets are the hot stuff, but it's there's been some water poured on that with the injury to Breece Hall, the injury to Vera Tucker, who is their best offensive lineman. He's out. If this is week 5, right after the Jets victory over the Aaron Rodgers Packers, maybe they'd be favored even. But, it's tough. Zach Wilson is playing horrifically bad football, and it's being covered up by the exciting stars on both the offense and especially on the defense. So the Jets still have a chance. On the Patriots side, I mean, Bill Belichick pulled a dick move with Mac Jones on Monday. Doing that during prime time with the crowd's reaction, knowing that Bailey Zappi was getting this like, oh, thank God they're finally putting in our new Tom Brady. He did that to Mac Jones. And it still doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm on the analytics side of everything, right? Usually. But I don't like when some of the analytics people disregard, the momentum and the mental aspects of the game. I mean, workplace relationships and morale have tangible impacts on what happens on the field. It happens in practice over months and years. It shows up in places. But this is an important game because Mac Jones will be starting. And he's got to do good. He's got to play at least, well, they should beat the Jets. This is the get-right game. They're favored by 2.5. That itself represents change because usually the Patriots are favored by like 10 over the Jets. Oh, what am I going to pick? I'm going to take the Patriots to cover the 2.5. And I think Bill Belichick gets that win. Number 325 goes into number 2. 22 wins to go for Don Shula. Because I don't really think that Robert Saleh and the Jets have truly ascended to the point that they will beat the Patriots. I do think if they have ascended, it will begin with a defeat of the Patriots. So if my prediction doesn't come to fruition and they thump the Patriots, we need to pay attention. All right, next game. The New York Giants, come here. Come up to Seattle. Up to Seattle where it's blustery today. It's going to be bad weather. It's a blustery day, Piglet, as my mom always said, from Winnie the Pooh. And the Giants and Seahawks, I mean, this is the two breathless, like, go home 2022, you're drunk. The 2022 season is so crazy. How crazy is this? And I'm just in like Groundhog Day every year. Like we're talking about this every single year. I'm not specifically talking about like the parody and just kind of the doldrums of the offenses that's happening right now, but the records of the teams, it's not weird. We always have a 6-1 Giants team we didn't know was going to be good, but no one believes in. We always have some of the good teams struggling. Like last year, the Chiefs were struggling at this time. So were the 49ers, and so were the Browns, who were Super Bowl favorites. And we were like, what's going on? The Cardinals are 7-0. The Bengals are 5-2. The Titans are beating the Chiefs and the Bills. It makes no sense. Like, that's what we were talking about last year. But then now we look back on it, we're like, yeah, the Cardinals are a wild card team. Of course they were 7-0. Like, that's how you'll look back at it now. I don't know. Seahawks are favored by 3. I will take the Seahawks and the 3 points there. And it's just, I don't know. The Giants, they were underdogs to the Jaguars last week. They're 6-1 now. They were 5-1 at the time, but they're always underdogs. And it's just because it doesn't make sense. Yes, Daniel Jones has been playing better, but not super great. Saquon Barkley's been okay. People saying like, oh, he looks like 2018. Like, sure. I mean, he disappears for like whole quarters at a time, if not halves. I don't know. Daniel Jones did do a lot with his legs as well, and he's making those key plays. I do say somebody's going to pop Daniel Jones because multiple times he like stays upright. He uses the sideline and the defensive player's unwillingness to get that late flag penalty or that he's going to slide, and he just blows right by him upright. Go down if you're going to go down, man, because you're going to get a hit. And I think sometimes Daniel Jones doesn't even get the calls that other quarterbacks get because he does that, because he blows right by and kind of uses the slide and the sideline as like, don't touch the quarterback. I don't know. I just don't believe in Daniel Jones that much. I'm happy that he's doing well, but it just doesn't feel sustainable. Now, the Seahawks... I mean, it honestly might be sustainable. I don't know, man. Geno Smith looks so good, and it's not fluky. I was absolutely wrong about Geno Smith. Everyone was wrong about Geno Smith. Pete Carroll was wrong about Geno Smith. If Pete Carroll knew that this could happen, then why was he insulting Geno Smith by having him in a quote-unquote legitimate competition with Drew Lock all year, all the way until late August? Like, Pete Carroll, if you knew this was going to happen, you don't do that. So the thing that should make us excited, though, about Seahawks fans is not Geno Smith, because surely there'll be good games and bad games. It's that the historically bad Seahawks defense, again, we started with a historically bad defense. We're patching it up somehow again. So I think the Seahawks take this. I think the Seahawks take this and cover the 3. All right, next game. 49ers and Rams. Wow, matchup number 2 for them. That came quick. The Rams are 3-3, coming back off a bye. This game is so important for them. Their center should be back. They at least got good news that their starting guard won't be out for the whole year. The line's not elite anymore. They lost their left tackle for the season. Though at least one Rams beat reporter believes that the replacement for Joe Noteboom will actually be better. So maybe they'll upgrade there. And then Stafford and just this, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the offensive line. Maybe it's the elbow. But he is not slinging it right now. He's like down there in the advanced stats with like the Zach Wilsons and Baker Mayfields and Jimmy Garoppolo's as far as like air yards per attempt and average depth of target. You know, that's not Stafford. Stafford's supposed to be the guy bringing the deep and intermediate threats to the Sean McVay offense. So this is kind of like did the bye week of rest solve everything for the Rams week? And I don't know. The 49ers are 3-4, which is actually a losing record, but yet it somehow feels more pressing for the Rams. The 49ers just have such a talented team, and hopefully are getting more healthy on the defense there. And McCaffrey will get on third downs. By the way, he's good in the passing game. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo throws a minimal amount of back-breaking picks, they're going to win games. So the big question here is, do I dare take the Rams? So they're 1.5-point underdogs at home. Man. I'm going to, yes. I'm going to place my hope in the Rams, not in the offense, but just Donald, Wagner, Ramsey. Someone's going to get some help. That's going to be a fresh defense after the bye. So I'm going to take that. It'll be an ugly game, but I am going to take it. And there's a pet peeve that I wanted to bring up, which this is the Sean McVay. The 49ers have the Rams number, right? That's what everyone says. The 49ers have won 7 of the last 8. But the record is actually 8-4. Why do we cut off the 3 in a row wins that McVay had over Shanahan in 2017 and 2018? Why does that get cut off? Why is it arbitrarily cut off at 2019 so that it looks better for Shanahan? Sean McVay, don't worry. I got your back. All right, next game. The Packers and the Bills, the past and the future. It is very possible that this is the 2022 MVP Josh Allen versus the back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers, because I do believe if Allen and Mahomes both do well this year, tie will go to Allen because Mahomes already has an MVP. But this game, Sunday Night Football, I could see why NBC wanted this game for that reason, for the MVP possibility, but the Packers are 11.5-point underdogs on prime time. Aaron Rodgers. This is something else, man. We're seeing it. And this is like going to be one of those touch point moments of passing the guard. Touch point moments. We're going to have Josh Allen thump Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football exactly 4 weeks after Pat Mahomes thumped Tom Brady on Sunday Night Football. Torch is finally being passed. I don't think anyone's worried about the Bills in this game. Really, the only possible thing for the Packers is that Aaron Rodgers turns into old Aaron Rodgers somehow. And he has been calling people out, right? Rodgers thinks some guys are making too many mistakes and some other guys maybe need more playing time. Against vague, passive aggressive, whatever. I fall in the middle of this. Aaron Rodgers, he's earned the right to be critical of a team. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback, for crying out loud. He would know, and they should listen. The team should listen. But I don't blame people who feel like a little negative about the way he's doing this, because for example, I don't take him at his word that he's being super upfront behind closed doors. He says he is, but I don't really believe it. Matt LaFleur like will say like, they'll ask him about some of Rodgers' comments and Matt LaFleur will be like, I don't know what that means. Like, it doesn't seem like he's really doing it behind the scenes, but hey, it is what it is. They don't look right. The Packers look soft. I'm going to take the Bills for 11.5. All right, check us out. We'll be back Sunday and Monday to talk about Week 8. Good night.